Monday, Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Um, what a crazy weekend. I want to say I actually took some time off and spent it with one of my daughters because my other one's being 16. She wanted to not have anything to do with us, which is okay because, I did that same thing when I was, 16, 17, 18. My daughter works at Oak Ridge, the movie theater, and she gets free tickets for the family every once in a while, which is great, right? Except for uh, yesterday, she decided she wanted to go see Groundhog Day. Bill Murray, Andy McDowell, rom com from the '80s, really cool movie. I'm like, yeah, sure, we can go. It was a great movie, right? But because it wasn't part of the standard lineup, and there was this thing where we don't get free tickets, so I had to pay. But it doesn't matter. The fact is, we got to have some family time, so that was awesome. Considering the fact that I worked pretty much the entire weekend anyway. So Friday and Saturday morning, I worked on a deck. Friends of mine had a deck that he had to redo. So, my construction background and my back were put to use, good use, which I enjoyed, except for the fact that afterwards I was in so much freaking pain. I'm still limping around, but that's what happens when you get older. Saturday afternoon, my girls had a gymnastics tournament in Watsonville, Santa Cruz. They call it tournament or what have you. And we sat on aluminum bleachers for 4 hours, which exacerbated the situation on my back and my soreness. And so I was just in so much pain. But, thank God for Tylenol, the once in a while that you take it. Yesterday was crazy too. My listing had 6 or 7 showings, which that wasn't normal. We did lower the price, but I also showed houses. I showed houses all over the place. We got into contract with another buyer, the buyers that were up in the mountains. I have 2 new referral buyers that I'm working with, and these 2 other current buyers that I'm working with. So I showed houses yesterday to 2 sets of buyers. And everywhere we went, it was busy. It was an open house. Well, one was an open house, but it was just like busy. There were a lot of people just like swarming around. A lot of buyers are out there. And it's exactly the opposite of what the news is telling us, right? Is this a calm before the storm, or is it the storm before the recession? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I do know that houses are getting into contract. We are still seeing houses sell. We're seeing houses slowly close, right? And then we do that on Wednesday and Thursday. But I wanted to really quickly take a look at the numbers just across the Bay Area, 10 counties. I want to show you where the numbers are. Now, we talk about this every Monday, right? It's the morning report, Monday Madness morning report. So last week we saw this, right? And we saw that Santa Clara is down 99%, and we dropped a little bit. These numbers are reported over 22. So for the rest of the year, we're going to be seeing these numbers, these weekly numbers compared to this data right here. This data can change. So every 3 months, I'm going to go check this to see if that number changes. But based on the population, you can use some numbers to extrapolate, right? And this chart right here is important. This is just one county, Santa Clara County. You can see prices fluctuate up and down over time, right? If you took a straight line and created a straight line over the last 5 years, you're going to see that the numbers really haven't changed a whole lot. Even though we had an all-time high of almost $2 million, now we're back down to 1.5. That was December. These numbers are going to come back up. Like I said, these numbers change all the time. So this number was 2.1, 2.1, 2.1, and then just under 2.1. So we're seeing still a slight contraction in Santa Clara. Solano is the smallest county that we use, and it's the least expensive. I can't say poorest. It's the least expensive, and we're seeing an increase, as well as Sonoma, as well as Napa and Marin. So everything in the North Bay, if you take a look at this map, right? Take a look at the map. Everything in the North Bay is doing really healthily for being January, right? It's crazy. And these are reported weekly. So these are just, yeah. You look at the South Bay, which is just Santa Clara County, we're slightly declining. There's no major downtick like the news would have you see. We are seeing over time, this is over a 2-year period, we're seeing a slight decline in population. Now, you can see, oh, San Francisco totally makes sense. Alameda, where Oakland is, totally makes sense. Santa Clara, where San Jose, downtown San Jose is, totally makes sense, right? I mean, you see these declines, but if you look at the decline in those areas, we're reported as one of the worst areas across the United States from the census. Now, this is just 1 year, 20 to 21. This is when they did their census tracking. Everything in green is where you saw major growth, right? There's Austin down here, Dallas-Fort Worth here. There's Reno, Las Vegas. So you see a migration of places to where it's warmer and a little freer, etc. People got out of California and they moved to Idaho, Oregon, Washington. If you're moving to Seattle area, I have an amazing pair of agents, an awesome team. If you're moving to Oregon, even down south here, I have some really great agents down there. Arizona and New Mexico. New Mexico did see quite a crash in population, but that's just because there's no major industry there. Hint, if you're going to grow something, grow there. This is the whole impending doom thing, and this is real time, right? February 1st, we're seeing 1.27 for the 10-year versus 3-year Treasury yield. This is what everybody's basing, we're going into a recession. I don't see it. The stock market did great last week. Unemployment's down to a historic low to since the 1970s, 1980s. I don't see where we're going into a recession. Maybe it's because we're going into massive inflation, but we have our rates up. We're seeing that slow down. You talk to some of the economists and they're like, whoa, we're not down to the 2%. I think maybe this is the new normal. Who knows? But going back to this whole chart here, remember, this is the hub of technology, right? Most people come here, especially in the South Bay area, Peninsula, they go there to find high-paying tech jobs. You can go to Texas, you can go to Idaho. There's all these different Silicon Valley upstarts over there, but this is truly where the money is, and it's a crazy amount of money that you see being thrown around. What we're seeing here in San Jose is we are seeing a contraction. I think that's normal, mostly because the way the government's working their system, people don't like to see trash on the streets, and San Jose is not cleaning up their streets, right? We have a massive homeless problem, just like San Francisco, just like Oakland. If we clean that area up, and maybe the Honorable Matt Mahan, when he comes in, he can turn things around and have the police force actually clean up this town. That would be great. I'm not saying he's going to promise to do that, although he did. But the situation is you need to clean up the area to make it attractive to people. People are opting to go to different cities in Santa Clara County, pay a little bit more so they don't have to see the dereliction of the government. Okay, that's it. 10 minutes. I think we're all doing really well here. Everything's going great. The trends are, we're seeing a healthy market here. Even if the market crashes in Idaho or Austin or what have you, we're going to see a little bit of correction because it's humanity, but I don't think we're going to see massive crashes because we have way too much equity in all the houses that were bought and sold in the last 3-4 years. And Anybody that's in major trouble could still sell their house and not lose their ass unless they're foolish about their money. And people here typically are not foolish about their money. All right, I'm Vito Scarnecchia with the Abitano Group, powered by Compass. We'll see you out there.